Welcome to the today's session. Myself, Professor Pramar Bakane. I am excited to introduce our topic, manufacturing technology and processes. This presentation is a part of third semester coursework at Tulsiram Gaikwad Patil College of Engineering, Nagpur. We will be exploring various manufacturing methods and processes involved in the modern manufacturing engineering. Over the few slides, we will cover the key concept, techniques and innovations in manufacturing technology. Let's get started and dive into the fascinating subject. Hello everyone. I am Pramar Bakane, Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department. Today we will be exploring the theory of metal cutting, which is a fundamental aspect of manufacturing and the machining process. This is a part of our BTech third semester coursework, so I encourage you to please pay the close attention to the key concept. Over the slides, you will see the title of the metal cutting. On the slide, we will see the title Theory of Metal Cutting, which sets the stages of understanding how materials are shaped and removed during machining process. As we go through this topic, keep in mind that understanding the mechanics behind metal cutting help us improve efficiency, quality and tool life in manufacturing. So let's concentrate on our core principles, that how to improve the efficiency, quality and tool life in manufacturing. So how the metal is cut and the factors that influence this process. Let's talk about the metal cutting, or what we also call machining process. This process is all about shaping a component to the desired size, form and finish by removing excess material. Think of it as a carving, always unnecessary to reveal the final part. Interestingly, the chips produced during this process can someone make up more than half of the original workpiece, which shows how much material is being removed. Now these machining process are typically carried out on a specialized machines designed for the metal cutting. They use a variety of cutting tools tailored for different tasks. The goal here is efficiency, performing the process at very high speed and speeds to maximize productivity while also minimizing the efforts needed to cut. This helps keep costs down and makes the process more economical. Several factors influence how effectively we can cut the metal. First, property of the work material itself, its hardness, ductility and the thermal conductivity all play the role. Then the property and the geometry of the cutting tool are crucially because they determine how smoothly and effectively the cut is made. Lastly, the interaction between the tool and the workpiece is vital. This includes consideration like cutting forces, heat generation and other factors. All these elements together emphasize the successful metal cutting. Just about choosing the right machine or the tool, but also understanding how this factor interplay and achieve optimal results with the minimal effort and cost. Now let's take a closer look at some of the key machining operations. First, we have external threading, which involves the cutting threads on the outside of workpiece. This is essential for creating the screws and bolts. Next is internal threading, where we cut thread inside a hole, allowing for nut and other threaded connections. Then there is a forming process, a process that shapes the material by plastic deformation, often used for creating threads without removing the material. Moving on, grooving involves cutting narrow channels or grooves into the workpiece surface, which can serve various functional or aesthetic purpose. Facing is another important operation which in which the end of the workpiece to create a smooth flat surface, often to prepare for the further operations. Turning, on the other hand, is a fundamental process where the workpiece is rotated at high speed while a cutting tool shapes its outer surface to the desired dimensions. These are the operations which are interconnected, and mastering them is vital for precise machining. They form a foundation of the many manufacturing processes and help us to achieve the desired specification and quality in our parts. Let's take a closer look of the mechanics of the metal cutting. When a cutting tool applies a compressive force on the workpiece, it stresses the material beyond its yield point. This causes the metal to deform plastically and shear off, which is essentially how material is removed. This localized plastic flow occurs along what we call a shear plane, a critical concept in understanding how cutting works. Once the material shears, it begins to flow along the cutting tool face in the form of chips. These chips are a direct result of the shearing action and important because of their formation indicates successful material removal. However, following chips can also cause the tool wear over the time, which is a key consideration in cutting tool design and operations. Now, the force that causes the chip formation, the applied compressive force, is also known as the cutting force. This force is essential because it directly influences the power required for cutting and affects the tool life. During shearing process, the heat is generated, raising the temperature of the workpiece, the cutting tool and the chip themselves. This temperature rise is crucial because it can soften the cutting tool, leading to the loss of keenness or the sharpness in the cutting edge. That's why managing heat and understanding its effects are vital in the metal cutting process. Ultimately, the cutting force, heat, and the abrasive wear are interconnected features that significantly impact the efficiency of the quality of the tool. First, we have external threading, which involves the cutting threads on the outside of the workpiece. This is essential for creating the screws and the bolt. Next is internal threading, where we cut thread inside a hole allowing the nut and other threaded connections. Then there is a forming, a process that shapes the material by plastic deformation used for creating threads without removing the material. Moving on, grooving involves cutting narrow channels and grooves into the workpiece surface, which can serve various functional or aesthetic purposes. These operations are interconnected and mastering them is vital for precise machining. When a cutting tool applies a compressive force on the workpiece, they form the foundation of many manufacturing processes and help us to achieve the desired specification and the quality in our parts. Let's take a closer look at the mechanics of metal cutting. These chips are a direct result of a shearing action and the important because their formation indicates the successful material removal. However, flowing chips can also cause the tool wear over time, which is a key consideration in cutting tool design and operation. Now, the force that causes this chip formation, the applied compressive force, is known as the cutting force. This force is essential because it directly influences the power required for cutting and affecting the tool life. During shearing, heat is generated, raising the temperature of the workpiece and cutting tool and the chips themselves. That's why managing the heat and understanding its effects are vital in metal cutting process. Ultimately, cutting force, heat, abrasive wear are interconnected features which significantly impact the efficiency and the quality of the cutting operation. Now, tying back into the overall theme of optimizing the metal removal, let's take a closer look at the slide. Here, I want to emphasize the importance of understanding the key points of which thoroughly, but in a way that feels natural and conversational. This helps us to connect better with our topic. When we highlight the most important concept, we ensure that they stand out and are more memorable. Remember, these ideas are not isolated, they tie back to the overall theme of our presentation, reinforcing our main message. Let's talk about the cutting tools, where we are responsible for performing the main machining operation. These tools are essentially bodies that have teeth and the cutting edge on them, which do the work of removing material from a workpiece. Cutting tools can be classified into the main two types. First one is single point cutting tool and the multi point cutting tool. Single point cutting tools are typically used in turning operation where a single cutting edge does not work on the material. On the other hand, multi point cutting tools have multiple cutting edges and used in operations like milling, drilling. The key difference is the number of cutting edge involved, which influence the efficiency and application of each type. Understanding this distinction is important because choosing the right type of cutting tool directly impacts the quality and the speed of the machining process. As we continue, you will see how selecting the appropriate tools fit into the overall manufacturing strategies. First, we have orthogonal cutting. This is a right angle to the workpiece with an angle of 90 degree. When I saw a two-dimensional, I mean that the cutting action occurs in a single plane, making it simple and more straightforward to analyze. Now contrastingly, that we have the oblique cutting, which is often called as a three-dimensional cutting. In this case, the cutting edge is inclined relatively to the workpiece, meaning the cutting action occurs at an angle that is not 90 degree. This inclination, known as inclination angle, influences the cutting dynamics, making the process more complex but also representative of real-world machining situations. Now, understanding this difference is important because they help us to choose the right process for the specific application, ensuring the efficiency and the quality. Both types play a crucial role in the overall theme of metal cutting, highlighting how the geometry of the cutting tool affects the process. Now let's talk about the single point cutting tool. These tools are designed with an effective cutting edge which allows them to remove the excess material from the workpiece along that edge. This makes them very precise and efficient for shaping and finishing operations. It also important to note that these tools can either left-handed or right-handed depending on the specific application. The direction of the cut needed. When classifying the single point cutting tools, we generally divide them into the two main types, solid tool and the tip tools. The bridge tools, which are often called as tool bits, are typically mounted into the tool holders and they are used for various machining tasks. The tip type of tool features a good steel shank with the cutting tip mounted on it. This tip can be made up of different materials such as high-speed steel or cemented carbide depending on the cutting requirements. Different types of carbide tips are used on tip tools, offering the various properties like hardness and wear resistance also. This versatility allows us to select the more suitable tip material for specific machining conditions, improving tool life and efficiency. Overall, understanding these operations helps us to choose the right tool for the job, ensuring precision and performance in our machining process.